I'll introduce this one.
Okay, ready to, when that goes red.
Yep. Hi, Patrick.
James?
So one of my preoccupations in this job is with job titles.
Keeping track of the ever-changing job titles.
So
As people relabel the same thing.
yeah, it's quite difficult for us to work, to sell ourselves to the world as these job titles change so much. Now, the most recent version of this, which is sort of laughable but very serious all at the same time, I'm not quite sure which side of the fence I'm on, is the Chief AI Officer. Now, I thought this thing had been invented in the last couple of weeks, and I've done a little bit, not a huge amount, but I'm just starting to do some research on it. And actually, people were appointing Chief AI Officers in 2017,
Yeah,
which is quite a long time ago.
You sent me an email about this.
Yeah. So, what do we think about this, and where have we come from? Where are we going?
Well, okay, here's some. I bet they're all in America.
No, they're not.
Chief.
No. So we've got two
Global
chief
phenomenon.
Yeah, no, the one was in Volkswagen. These are the 2017 guys. One was in Volkswagen. I can't remember the other guy was, I think, in a bank,
Okay.
JP Morgan or something like that. So I think my take on this, particularly given our viewpoint, is that there are a number of ridiculous job titles, and actually you could go back to things like Chief Digital Officer. I mean, and this is one of my favourite subjects. What does a Chief Digital Officer do? Let's go back to very, 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 very basic.
There's no. I get no unified answer to what does the word digital mean.
Exactly. What does digital mean?
Without any clear.
Yeah. So let's go. I think if we go back to first principles, I think, and we talk about this over like the last couple of weeks. Basically, the intersection between marketing and technology, in one form or another. How technology affects customers, marketing, blah, 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 blah. And
So AI is
just the latest step in this whole process. So you could have been doing digital transformation, a lovely buzzwordy, phrasey thing that's been around for quite a long time.
and AI is just the latest iteration of the digital technology. So it started off with some automation, machine learning, and that's just getting better. So why the new job title? What was wrong with digital transition or?
Well, first of all, digital transformation itself.
Digital.
But digital transformation, I mean, it's constantly changing. So it's not like you're going from A to B, and then once you've arrived at B, it's all over and you've transformed and nothing's going to happen anymore, because the whole environment's changing. So this is why we find the whole job title thing so difficult. AI is the latest iteration of
So when people say to you, so you're a headhunter, what's your specialist area? What do you say?
I normally say that we do e-commerce and digital marketing.
Okay.
But I could say we do chief digital officers, but people then say, what does that mean?
And you're like, oh.
And some people even now say, what does e-commerce mean? And I say, well, look, your wife, because it tends to be men, your wife buys shit on the internet. I say, well, we find the people who, attract her to the website in the first place. When she's on the website, they make her buy something, and hopefully more than she thought she was going to buy. And when they've left the website, they make her come back to buy more shit on the website.
Yeah, I get that you do a lot of e-commerce. I do more than you, but we do.
But we do a lot more than that. Yeah, no, I know. So I think so the reason why I find it laughable and really serious all at the same time is that the idea that there is a chief AI officer partly suggests that there's some sort of career path to being a chief AI officer.
This is the point.
So where they suddenly come from, because they've been. Well, you can't suddenly be a chief AI officer. You haven't been an AI manager.
Well, this is what I was just thinking. What's their department look like? Do they have AI execs? Do they have then AI managers, and then AI, and then finally, when you work your way up the greasy pole, you get to be the chief? Or have they just hired a chief AI officer? It's one of those jobs without a real team.
Well, if you look at it online and there's sort of YouTube videos and various sort of job descriptions, it's setting the strategy and vision.
Oh, strategy and vision.
It's being the central point of contact. The only thing extra that I can see that is maybe important is the ethics around what data you're using to train your AI models.
Okay.
So there's an element of that.
So is this still the same job that was previously a chief digital officer or a digital
I think it
product
is
owner
very similar to the same, because it's about how commerciality,
head of technology,
how technology and how the customer all interact. So it's like you could call that chief product officer, you could call it a chief technology officer who understands the customer and the commercial side of the business. There are a whole load of roles that are all merging into one. I think it's very, very difficult to to sort of see the wood for the trees on this one. Interestingly, there's a guy who I sort of met probably when I first started working with you, who actually had an AI and still has a very successful AI headhunting firm, and he was specifically dealing with people who actually did do AI, but in the city, so in trading, algorithmic trading businesses,
right, yeah.
where you really do need guys who went to university to do AI, building AI for trading for the city. Now that was sort of quite hardcore AI heavy lifting, but I think the more you read around these job descriptions, it's about somebody who sits and manages the new flow of technology coming into businesses, how that affects the business, and
Right.
and
So
basically liaising within the business as to the best effective use of that
quite-
technology, how to implement it.
quite similar to what we've
So
been
it's
doing the last
very
20
similar
years.
to also,
So
and I'd
is-
argue that if you're going to be a chief AI officer, you probably were a digital transformation person 2 years ago. And or if you are someone who's fantastic at digital transformation, as I was talking to an amazing candidate I was speaking to on Friday, she's just coming out of Meta, where she's done lots of stuff with AI within Meta. So pretty good place to have been. We're thinking about who it is now.
I think I know who it is, yeah.
But I was saying to her, you could very easily describe yourself as a chief
Chief
AI
AI
officer. And she's going, yeah, I could, because I've actually been dealing with AI quite a lot,
So-
actually in a proper
So, folks, I think what we should probably
scaled up
do
place.
is call it now. We are AI
We are,
headhunters now.
well,
This
yeah.
is what we do.
Yeah.
20 years experience, in fact. Of
We had
doing
20 years experience
20
with
years
AI.
experience of AI.
So yeah, it's interesting to see where it's all going to go and what job titles will be in 18 months time. I don't know, but it sounds like the chief AI officer
Sounds like the board's getting bigger.
which has been here since 2017. I've now found out is here to stay, and yeah, and I think that's the other thing. I think it's going to be, that's an interesting point you just made there. I think whereas sort of 3 or 4 years ago, boards might have been looking for, global directors of big data or, data analytics, C-level
Data security,
data people.
cybersecurity.
This is going to be the next trendy thing to have. Actually, the skill set that these people need has actually been there, but it's been called something completely different.
So, just before we wrap this one up, because I'm so bored of talking about AI. Sorry, just spent too much time on it. But a few years ago, I used to go to the Internet Retailing Conference all the time. Used to love it. But still do. But I think COVID stopped it. But anyway, there was a couple of years where everyone wanted to use the word omnichannel.
Yeah.
So in e-commerce. And they all wanted to be the group omnichannel director so that their business card would say God.
Yeah.
And they were like children walking around the conference going, oh, look, I got it. I managed to get this one past HR. So there we go.
Yeah.
Group AI.
Well, I did hear someone describe it as the Kaio. So that I did have to stop myself spitting all over the dashboard of the car as I was listening to that on the way here. But there we are.
Yeah, we were trying to
So
do
here's to the Kaio.
Yippee-ki-yo.
Yippee Kaio. Until the next time.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, James.
Bye.